Ever catch yourself wondering if you're saving enough or if you're way behind everyone else your age? Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, we're breaking it down decade by decade, from your ramen-fueled 20s to your "please don't let me be the greeter at Walmart" 60s. You'll see what the benchmarks are, where most people slip up, and how you can actually get ahead instead of playing catch-up. And hey, if you like checking where you stand financially, or just enjoy roasting your past self for blowing your first paycheck on shoes and takeout, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss the breakdowns I've got lined up. Oh, and drop a comment with your age group. I guarantee you'll find you're not the only one trying to figure this out. 20s, ramen budget reality check. In your 20s, the median savings is less than $3,000. Yeah, that's not even a decent used car anymore. Financial experts recommend saving about half your annual salary by the time you leave this decade. If you're making $40,000 a year, that's $20,000 in the bank. But let me tell you a secret. Most 20-somethings are still figuring out how to split rent 3 ways, pay off student loans, and avoid getting overdraft fees after late-night Uber Eats orders. So don't beat yourself up if you're not hitting those numbers. The win in your 20s isn't about the size of your savings. It's about building the habit of saving. Even $50 a month into a Roth IRA or a high-yield savings account can snowball. Because thanks to compound interest, money saved in your 20s works way harder than money saved in your 40s. But here's where it gets tricky, because once you move into your 30s, the expectations climb. And so do your expenses. Quick pause. If this is already stressing you out, drop a comment with your age. Let's see how many people here are ahead of the game versus just winging it. 30s, lifestyle creep trap. By your 30s, the target savings is 1 to 2 times your annual salary. So if you're making $60,000, experts want you sitting on $60,000 to $120,000 in savings. In reality, most Americans in their 30s have somewhere between $11,000 and $20,000 saved. This is also the decade where lifestyle creep shows up like an uninvited guest. You finally get a decent salary, and suddenly you deserve that nicer apartment, the better car, the Peloton subscription, and weekly DoorDash orders. Before you know it, every raise you get is already spent. The smart move here is to fight that creep. Set up automatic retirement contributions before the money even hits your account, and budget around what's left. You'll thank yourself later when your savings isn't stuck at the same number for 5 straight years. But if your 30s are all about battling lifestyle creep, your 40s are about facing a much scarier monster: the midlife math crisis. 40s, midlife math crisis. In your 40s, the goal is 3 to 4 times your annual salary saved. Let's say you're making $80,000. That means experts want you sitting at $240,000 to $320,000. Reality check. The median savings for people in this age group is closer to $25,000 to $30,000. This is when a lot of people wake up and realize retirement isn't that far away. And if you're behind, the pressure can feel brutal. Debt, kids, and those necessary midlife upgrades, bigger houses, family vacations, maybe even private schools, can all drain your savings faster than you expected. The good news? This is also when you're likely earning more than ever before. Use those peak earning years to your advantage. Max out your 401k or IRA, aggressively pay off high-interest debt, and make investing a priority instead of an afterthought. And speaking of investing, the 50s are where the stakes get even higher, and your strategy has to shift into overdrive. 50s, catch-up mode. Experts say by the time you hit 50, you should have 6 to 7 times your annual salary saved. But most Americans aren't even close. This is why the IRS gives you a little bonus: catch-up contributions. Once you're 50, you can put extra money into your retirement accounts, $7,500 more into your 401k, and $1,000 more into your IRA every year. This decade is critical. You're likely in your prime earning years, but you might also be sandwiched between paying for your kids' college and helping aging parents. It's a financial juggling act, but the key is prioritizing retirement. Remember, your kids can take out loans for school. You can't take out loans for retirement. Another strategy? Downsizing. If the kids are moving out, maybe you don't need that big house anymore. Freeing up cash here can supercharge your savings. But eventually, all the saving and planning comes down to one moment: the big 60. Quick reminder, if you're finding this breakdown helpful, make sure you're subscribed. I've got more practical money advice coming every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. 60s, the big reality check. By your 60s, experts want you sitting on 8 to 10 times your salary in savings. If you're earning $70,000, that's $560,000 to $700,000. The actual median savings for Americans at this age? Under $100,000. That gap is huge. And here's where people realize retirement isn't just about a magic number, it's about expenses. How much does your lifestyle really cost? Can you live comfortably on Social Security, retirement withdrawals, and whatever investments you've built? This is also the decade to make strategic decisions. If you're able, delaying Social Security as long as possible can significantly increase your monthly payouts, giving you a more comfortable cushion later on. And if you're a little behind on your savings, part-time work can be a smart bridge, not something you have to do forever, but a way to ease the pressure while your investments keep growing. Above all, healthcare planning becomes a top priority because medical costs can quietly eat up a shocking share of retirement budgets if you're not prepared. Retirement age. The finish line isn't one size fits all. Finally, we hit retirement age, but reality check? It doesn't look the same for everyone. For some, retirement starts right at 65, with pensions, Social Security, and years of savings doing the heavy lifting. But for others, it's a phased approach, maybe working part-time, consulting, or even turning a hobby into a little side income. The big focus here is sustainability. Your nest egg isn't just about the number in your account, it's about how long it can last. That means dialing in your withdrawal strategy, managing healthcare costs, because those can sneak up fast, and making sure you're not outliving your money. The goal at this stage isn't just to stop working, it's to retire comfortably without the stress of wondering if every dinner out is too much. And if you're not quite there yet, don't panic. Even small, smart moves in your 60s can stretch your savings further than you think. So what does this all add up to? Let's put the entire journey into perspective. Let's have a quick recap, shall we? In your 20s, it's much less about piling up massive balances and more about building habits that stick. So think automatic transfers to savings, starting retirement accounts early, and avoiding lifestyle debt traps. By your 30s, the biggest enemy isn't necessarily low income anymore. It's lifestyle creep. That's when every raise mysteriously turns into a bigger car payment, a fancier apartment, or more takeout. This is where automating your savings can save you from yourself. Fast forward to your 40s. These are often your peak earning years, which makes it prime time to crank up your investments, aggressively pay down debt, and really set the stage for long-term wealth. Hitting your 50s, that's when catch-up contributions come into play, giving you the chance to pump more into retirement accounts while also rethinking whether downsizing could free up both cash and stress. Finally, in your 60s, the focus shifts from building wealth to protecting and stretching it, managing expenses while making the most of Social Security and ensuring your money outlives you, not the other way around. The truth is, very few people hit the ideal benchmarks perfectly, and that's okay. What matters is consistency, making intentional choices with your money, and adapting each decade as life throws curveballs at you. Remember, building wealth isn't about perfection, it's about direction. If this gave you that, oh wow, I should probably check my bank account moment, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this video is worth sharing. And don't forget to subscribe for more straight talk finance without the boring jargon. Stickman out.